As summer is wrapping up and we are kind of heading into early autumn, early fall season, for me, this is always a time of reflection on the year because, first of all, I'm having a heart attack over the fact that, holy cow, we're almost to like the last few months of the year. Where did this year go? But then it also spurs me into a lot of reflective thought about myself, what I've done this year, what I still want to do, and just our lives in general, where we're spending our time, the things that we're valuing. And so for me, part of the things that I consider and address is my home, my environment, my routines, my schedules. A lot of people, your kids are going back to school, which I feel like for a lot of us women, moms in particular, it really frees up some time to consider some of these things. That's what we're going to chat about today. I want to share with you what I've been doing and what I have found over 18 years of parenting, 20 years married, what has really helped me creating a home that feels like a healing and peaceful place and not a chaotic and crazy place most days. The first thing that must be addressed is your morning routine. And it must be addressed because how you start your day is going to affect how the rest of your day goes. It's one of those things that I feel like everybody gets these like over the top grandiose ideas about morning routines and they end up like overcomplicating it. And I'm guilty of that. Okay. I don't stand up here from Mount Know-it-all and say to you like, aha, peasants, do it my way. Every time I attempt a morning routine, the reason it fails is because I overcomplicate it. Okay. So I focus on a few important things. And if you've been around my channel, you're probably like, yeah, Angie, we know, we've heard you say this a million times. But those few important things are waking up at the same time every day, getting yourself on a consistent sleeping schedule, a consistent time you go to bed, and a consistent time you wake up. It's one of the best things that you can do for your body and your health. Your body wants it, it needs it. You've got to reset everything and you've got to get good sleep, especially if you're a woman. We need more sleep than men. There's research out there. Go find it, print it out, show it to your husband, okay? If you need to, if he's not on board with this, but you need to get good sleep, better sleep, the best sleep, and you need to be consistent. One of the things that helps is being consistent about the time you go to sleep and the time you wake up. And as we're thinking about the choices we're making in the morning, how they're going to affect the rest of our day, one of the best ways that you can set yourself up to eat healthier and make healthier choices throughout the day is to start the day with healthy choices, with a healthy choice in what you're going to have for breakfast and just how you're going to start your day. If you're like me, I'm not super hungry in the morning. It's actually very hard for me to eat breakfast in the morning because I just don't have an appetite. The one thing that I can and want to eat, consume in the morning is a smoothie. That is where today's video sponsor, Daily Harvest, comes in. I actually think that I started sharing about Daily Harvest like, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago over on our vlog channel. Daily Harvest is an OG love of mine for so many reasons. Daily Harvest makes it so easy for you to build your morning routine around healthy habits using healthy ingredients that you can trust. You can rest assured and know that their food is grown and it's not engineered. There's no mystery ingredients or weird things in there, just actual fruits and vegetables.
All of their food is 100% gluten-free, dairy-free, it's nutrient dense, and it is made without refined sugar. So there is such incredible ingredient diversity, and you're not going to easily find all those nutrient dense ingredients just at the grocery store.
And Daily Harvest is shipped directly to you, and it's frozen for a reason. That allows them to lock in the nutrients and the flavor at their peak. If you want to give Daily Harvest a try, and I highly recommend that you do, you can use my link down below in the description box, and that's going to get you 15% off your first box of $100 or more. And I should also mention, when we talk about getting good sleep, I should have mentioned this when I was talking about sleep, cozy bedding is a big deal. I remember when we first got married and like the thought of buying a good mattress or spending money on a mattress was like, please, I have to feed these people, I have to buy groceries, I can be buying a mattress. It just felt like, when will I be at the point in my life where I can spend money on a mattress and not feel like I'm robbing from my food budget or whatever? At 41 years old, I have learned over the last few years what a great priority, honestly, it kind of came when I was pregnant with the twins, what an important priority cozy bedding, a comfortable mattress, comfortable bedding actually is, creating a bit of an oasis in your bedroom, a place that feels like a retreat. You know, we're talking about a home that heals, a home that feels more peaceful. And that's a huge deal, okay? If you find that your room just feels chaotic and overwhelming and it doesn't bring you the relaxing vibes, you should do something about that if you can, right? If at all possible, I highly recommend working on making your bedroom into more of a cozy retreat, whatever that looks like. It might look like having more knickknacks. It might look like having a more minimalist bedroom. It's truly the one area in my home that I really like to pare down. I love knickknacks and paddywhacks and whatever. I love stuff on my shelves and all of that. My bedroom is the one place that I really like a very minimal feel, investing in a mattress that's comfortable, that you're happy with, bedding that is cozy. And I just did an Instagram reel recently sharing like how to get the luxurious bedding feel at home. I did a bit of traveling in July and August, and after staying in a couple of really nice hotel beds, I'm like, that's it. I want this at home. I want this at home. And I went on a crazy mattress hunt and also new bedding. So I'll link to all of the bedding and everything that we switched to down below in the description box. But now I've created this very like cozy oasis feel in my bedroom, and I love it. So the next tip is healing colors in your home. Whatever feels right to you in this department. For me, I don't like the like super, despite all this whiteness behind me, this is for the purposes of filming, but it is fun to have like a fresh, clean space. But I do like color. I just like peaceful, calming colors, or colors that evoke the emotion of the room. But for me, in my house, it just very much depends. In my bedroom, I like a neutral, not bright, but just warm, inviting, neutral, cozy feel. I also like darker colors, deeper colors, because they bring in all of those like cozy, relaxing vibes. If that's not how it makes you feel, then definitely don't do that, right? If you like all white, all beige, everything, do that. Whatever makes you feel cozy and relaxed in your space is what you're going for. The next thing I do is think about scent. Scent is one of the strongest forms of memory recall, and scent is very important to me in my house. Again, 8 kids, a lot of animals, a lot of dogs. It's very easy for it to get stinky real fast, okay? Not that I've done away with candles. I've got one burning right here. I still use them sometimes, but one of the things that I have switched to are various forms of diffusers, scent diffusers around my house. I've tried a bunch of them. I've tried the Pura, the plug-ins all around my house. I will say I love them, but I do feel like they run out really quickly. So I only replace them once a month. That's just how I roll. I just refuse to replace them more than that. Otherwise it feels like it's just too expensive. So I only replace those once a month, but I do have, I cannot remember the name of it. It's like an aroma something diffuser. It's a cylinder shape. It's pretty tall. It is a little more pricey, but it is a waterless diffuser, which I love. Okay, let's talk about some things that are not things, but things to do and just sort of concepts that help create this more peaceful home and environment. One of them is to open the windows whenever you can. This makes such a difference. Okay, if you don't have screens and bugs are going to get in, I get it, all right? But when you do have screens and the ability and the weather is cooperating, that is when I know that like fall is here, and I'm so thrilled, is when it's not so humid and it's cool enough that I can open my windows. I love it. I love it so much. The fresh air, when you feel the breeze blowing through the house, it's such a peaceful and calming feeling. So if you live in a climate, you live in a place, a space where you can do that, I highly recommend opening up windows. Also opening up curtains, blinds, etc. If it's not part of our habit, we can kind of just leave things closed and kind of forget about it. And I think you'd be surprised, because I often am, when I like go into my bathroom and I choose to open the blinds. I usually keep those closed because, well, it's my bathroom and I'm naked in there half the time. So I don't want people looking in. But sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm not, I'm cleaning in here. I'm doing something else, not in the nude. So I am going to open these blinds, and it's instantly, I feel better. I just feel happier. I don't know what it is, but well, I do know what it is. Humans need light, and not always artificial light. We need sunlight, sky, all of that. The other thing that I highly recommend is to bring the outdoors in, and I don't mean like dirt on your shoes. I mean plants, flowers, herbs, whatever it is. There's something really grounding and calming about bringing nature in. I get it. Like sometimes keeping plants alive is difficult. So, if you're really like, look, I just can't keep a plant alive, then go with artificial. Okay. At least you'll see that greenery, and maybe, your eyes will say to your brain, I think I see nature. If you can at all, flowers, plants, even just herbs in your kitchen, just something to bring the outdoors in. Not only if you get good plants, now it's great for the air in your home as well, but it's also just incredibly like calming and creating that very like peaceful vibe. Let's talk a moment about lamps and dimmable lights. I know I said we were moving on to like things that weren't things, but I did forget this. So I want to jump back because it's on my list. And I do think it's important. I read once that the only time you should turn on an overhead light is if you're looking for the back of an earring. I could not agree more. Okay, I just could not agree more. Lamps are my jam. I love them. I will fuss and turn out all the lights. If somebody goes and turns on all the overhead lights, I'm like, what is this, an interrogation? Like, I can't with all the overhead lights. They're harsh. They do not have a warm and inviting feeling to me. And so I love lamps. Lamps are the jam. If you're lighting a setup for dimmable lights so that you can bring those up and down when and where needed. I just wanted to add that because I feel like, as the kids say, a vibe check. It's good vibes in your house, okay? If you think, I never really thought about that, I bet that if you start turning off the overhead lights and turning on lamps, you'll be like, she was right. She's weird, but she was right. Okay, the next is displaying things in your home that matter to you. Boy, oh boy, okay, is this so easy in this modern day and age of social media and the like, to get very caught up in what all of the designers and influencers or whatever are showing in their homes, right? Things always look perfect and perfectly pulled together. Everything is just very perfectly appointed and decorated, etc. And a lot of times it's just decorated with stuff from whatever the local store is, or Amazon or Walmart or whatever. I'm not knocking that. I have a lot of that stuff in my house, a lot of it. But I also intermix it with things that matter to me, even if they don't go, even if it's the wrong color, even if it doesn't totally look right, which, by the way, there's absolutely ways to marry the two. It's not one or the other, okay? You can definitely spend a little bit more time finding the right picture frames for photos, or the right little shadow box for that trinkety item that you got in your travels and you want to display, for your grandma's quilt that maybe doesn't entirely match the room, but you could throw it over a chair in another room. Like, there's ways to incorporate these things that matter. And for me, it's just unbeatable when it comes to creating a home that feels peaceful and healing, and a place I want to be. I want to look around and see things that mean at least something to me. Again, I'm all for like flourishes and design elements and stuff, but I don't want my home to be devoid of any personality, anything personal, and, just our family's memories and things like that belongs in our home, even if it doesn't look great on Instagram or whatever. Now, as I sit here in my current little corner here in my office, my new office space, I will tell you, at home, having a peaceful corner, a little peace corner, as I'm going to call it. I get it. Like, it's ridiculous to imagine that we might all have the situation where we can have like a room or a space or something that's all to yourself. But you can typically find a way to create a little corner, whether it's in the corner of your bedroom, if it's in the corner of a basement area, or some place where you can put yourself a little chair, a little table, and just have your little peaceful place to sit down and read, reflect, watch something, listen. If you're not a reader, like I do feel like sometimes if that's not your personality, you can often feel left out of these conversations, because it's like, well, I'm not going to sit down and read. So that's okay. You can draw. You can color, you can get an adult coloring book. You can do a paint by numbers. You can go to Walmart and get one of those like little crochet by number things that create the cute pillows. You can do anything that feels calming to you. It doesn't have to be fantastic. It doesn't have to be earth shattering or mind blowing or like the world's greatest talent that's ever been seen in hand drawing. Nobody else has to see it. Just whatever it is that will like calm you, make you feel a little bit more at peace, and just a little area that you can go to escape. In fact, it's been so important for me that if you saw my Amazon video, I talked about it at the end, but this is, my new office space. And so my previous office space, which was this little cabin on our property, I am turning into what we're calling like a cozy, quiet cabin. It's a no technology space. We're going to have all the bookshelves and display all of our family's books. We're going to have some comfy furniture, a little table, maybe some cards, games, and things out there. But really, it's a place for our kids at any time when they just need a break from the chaos and stuff. They can go out there and read, relax. No phones, no Nintendos, no tablets, no computers, nothing like that. That all stays out of the cabin, but it is a place where you can go and read, relax, draw, listen to music. We'll have our record player out there. Having that kind of peaceful space has been so important to me that I really wanted to attempt to provide that for my kids too. I hope that this video has given you some ideas for how to make your home a little bit more peaceful and calming if you are in need of that. These things have really helped me and things that I've come to really value. I think and I hope that you will also find them helpful and useful. So that's it for me today. Don't forget to try Daily Harvest. You'll find that link down below in the description box. I highly recommend. I mean, I've talked about them for years because they're just so delicious and easy. Okay. Easy to stay on track, easy to make good choices. Anything we can do that, to create that sort of path of least resistance towards the things that we want to do and create is always a good idea. So that is it for me today, my friend. I hope that you enjoyed this video and hopefully I will see you again very soon. Bye.